Mario Party Superstars is the most interesting Mario Party game we've seen in over a decade. It finally went back to the style of the old games that fans have been asking for. But how does it actually compare with the classics that it's based on? What does this game do better? What does it do worse? And where does this game rank with all other 17 games in the series? Well, in this video, I'd like to take a look at all of this and really look at how Superstars fits in with the rest of the series. And then at the end, I'll rank it compared to all the other games. But I'm getting ahead of myself now. Let's first look at Superstars as a standalone game. So Mario Party Superstars, at the very least, is the best Mario Party game in the last decade. And all they had to do was just to do what they already did 20 years ago. Wow, that was so hard to figure out. But my jabs at the Mario Party series aside, I actually had a lot of fun playing this game. This style of Mario Party just simply works. There's the classic great boards, classic dies, item shops, and some of the best minigames are included. And yeah, honestly, this is some of the most fun I've had with simply the minigames. While some of them aren't the greatest still, like Tug-O-War for example. Side note, but why does this game keep coming back and why won't it just die? Seriously, nobody is asking for it. Who's the one that keeps deciding to remake this minigame? I want to forget about this already. Point being, besides Tug-O-War, this game has one of the greatest selections of Mario Party minigames. I can't recall at all groaning or being like, ugh man, when a minigame was selected during the board, because they were mostly all enjoyable in some way, and all of them play like they did in their classic games. And then the other half of this game is playing on the boards, and man, these were so refreshing to see again. They all play very well, and it was fun strategizing how to move to the star in the quickest way possible to beat your opponents. And there's way more things to consider now, like which path should I take? Should I buy an item to get there quicker, or will I then not have enough coins for a star? Or maybe buy the item now, then win a minigame so I get the coins back and I'm set. All these boards provided a lot of quick, on-the-fly thinking moments, which is much needed in Mario Party. Yeah, and this game has a very great luck versus skill balance. There's a lot of skill needed for how to strategically move around these boards, and the minigames all require some degree of skill in most cases. But there still are some wacky and pretty funny board moments that keeps the playing field even for players of various different skill levels. Which is oof, it's perfect. This is how party games should be balanced. I will say though, if we're talking about the boards here, I was disappointed that there is only 5 in this game. Like when they first announced that this game was gonna have boards from only the first 3 games, I think a lot of people assumed that we would have 2 from each game. I mean, that just makes the most sense. But instead we get 2 from Mario Party 1, 2 from Mario Party 2, and awkwardly 1 from Mario Party 3. What? Mario Party 3 had some of the best boards of all time, and there's only 1 of them, and probably the most annoying one to play on at that. But that's for another topic. Point being, it honestly feels like a board had to be cut or something because of time constraints. Like I know some Mario Party games only have 5, but all 3 on the N64 had at least 6 of them. But what's even more confusing is that these aren't even original designs. You literally had all the mechanics and layouts done for you, you just had to remake it. And they still gave a small amount of boards. Even with this complaint, when you're actually playing on the boards, it's a pretty fun time. The minigames and boards work very well together. But this is all good, you know this stuff, this is all familiar territory, so what's actually new in this game? Well, for starters, I have to talk about the presentation. This part was actually so well done. Like Nintendo knew what they were doing and who their audience was. The boards all look incredible now. I mean, for Switch graphics. They really brought all those flat boards from before to life in this game and even added a bunch of little details to make it feel like more of an actual world. From enemies just kicking around some apples to having some random ghosts just floating around in the background, a lot of great visual improvements have been made. And okay, the Peach's birthday cake looks good enough to eat. It actually looks like some realistic food here. Now this is all good, except for what they did to Horrorland. Remember that splatter of blood they had, in which it was revealed to be a bottle of ketchup? Well, they removed that whole scene in the new version. Psst. What is this censorship, Nintendo? You've gotten soft in the past 20 years. But anyways, I also gotta talk about the remastered music here, which sounds amazing as well. I love the new versions of all these classic songs. Plus, they added a new upbeat version of every single song that plays only in the last 5 turns. That's a nice touch. And then just look at the main menu. It's a recreation of the original Mario Party menu hub, and it has so much charm to it. This menu is kind of slower now though, because every menu option takes a sec to load when selected because of all the models and assets for each option. So it kind of favors aesthetics more than functionality, but that's like a minor thing. I still love this square. There's also a bunch more options in the menus for the board game, both for ease of use and even new additions. You can quit and save your game, then come back to the turn you were on, or even add more turns mid-game. But what's really cool is the new customizable options for the game. Like guys, I know I'm freaking out about options here, but just take a look. You can do the classic bonus stars, which I like a lot, and you can customize which types of mini games you want to have in your main party mode. This makes it so you can tweak your game based on who's playing with you. There is so many great customizable options for the games. However, some of these menus can kind of get clunky to navigate. I'm mainly talking about the online section. Like to switch from local play to online modes, you literally have to go all the way back before the title screen, select the online option, skip the intro cutscene, skip the title screen, and then reselect the pipe. Again, these aren't terrible, but it's weird to see this in a Mario game. And then really the only other main mode is this minigame island place. And yeah, it's alright. There's a few different modes here that play the minigames in different formats, but this place is mainly just here so you can play whatever minigame you want at any time. And for that purpose, it does it well. But now for the first time at launch, you can play the main party board mode with random people online. And this has to be one of the greatest new additions in this game. Because Mario Party is way more of a shallow experience when you're just playing with computers. So if you don't have the luxury of inviting people over, well then now there's a pretty good substitute. Besides a few hiccups, my experience was pretty lag-free. I mean, this is severely helped by the general design of Mario Party, since you only interact directly with other players in the minigames, so lag doesn't have that much of an impact on the board part. The game will now take a bit longer though, since there's more of a delay for each player's turns, and some people can take forever to make up their mind. Also, I love how when you're waiting to search for a game, you can just play the minigames to kill time. It's subtle, but I don't see other online games do this kind of thing. Also, since these aren't your friends you're playing with, you can now screw with them a little more, which is pretty hilarious, I gotta say. I can steal a star, eh? I mean, Peach is in the lead, but Yoshi did steal my star a few turns back now. And yeah, as you can see, they have given you these little emotes that you can use online to communicate with other players. I do like this though, because now you can kinda see people's reactions to what you do. However, most of the time, it just turns into something like this. They should really start doing voice chat. I mean, more of a complaint with Nintendo, but how fun would it be to talk smack to random people while stealing their stars? But that's just wishful thinking now. And these aspects are all good, that's all fine, but now back to the question at hand, how does this game compare with the rest of the series, and where do I rank this game? Also, spoilers for my Mario Party ranking videos, so if you haven't seen it, then click here to watch it, or a link's in the description if you want to see how I rank every other Mario Party game first. Okay, anyways, Superstars generally holds up pretty well with the rest of the good games. I mean, yeah, that was the foundation that it was built upon, but while the old ones were more rough around the edges in some cases, Superstars takes that gameplay and polishes it up super nicely with many quality of life improvements as well. Things like how the computer players used to take forever in the old ones, showing you what space you're about to land on when choosing a direction, and even minor tweaks to the board layouts as well. And everything is super quick and snappy in Superstars, with the board moving, menu navigation, and computer players even. 7, so it definitely exceeds the others in these areas. However, Superstars does lack other modes or things to do other than the main party board. There is Minigame Island that I mentioned before, but it's pretty shallow. It's basically just a place to play minigames. When the old ones had specific 1v1 dueling boards or even other minigame sideboards. And speaking of boards, the majority of the old ones had at least 6 of them, and that's not even mentioning the other side mode boards, and Superstars couldn't even match that. I know that Superstars does have an online mode, which the old ones obviously didn't, but it's still the same Mario Party board gameplay. So generally, the older ones have more variety and other modes to play when compared with Superstars. But with all that being said, Superstars needs to rank with the rest of the series. So out of all 17 other games, I would rank Superstars at the number 4 spot. And on my ranking, that would be right above Mario Party 2, but right below Mario Party 7. Yeah, so this is how my top 5 Mario Party games would look now. And the ones above Superstars just had more extra modes, boards, and different side games most of the time. Or like Mario Party 6 had a cool universal mechanic that put it up ahead. And these games had so much charm to them too. However, Superstars has a lot going for it as well, which is why it ranks pretty high. And this game, I will definitely give it one thing, and that is, this is the best Mario Party experience on the Switch.